I was looking for a direction. I was looking for something new. I was looking for some salvation, and I found them all with you.
You had a little kind of, almost like a kind of room covered in air studios where like...
With making the record, we started in the garage, and then we transferred the analog tape to this machine that I'd got from Stephen Street. I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of early digital thing. And then and then I called Andy Strange, who I'd worked with on the Duffy album. And actually, we'd done that song 23 that was on I Love My Friends. So I thought he would be a good person to help me finish this record. And he said he was working at Air at that point. So we went to Air and we mixed it there. And then we did some overdubs there in a little room upstairs. And then they offered me a little room upstairs. So I rented a tiny little office. And that was a lifeline, really, because if I hadn't moved into that little office in 2000, I wouldn't have had that environment of working, like Giles Martin was next door and David Arnold was the other next door. And Pro Tools had just started, and I was in an environment where I could learn about this new thing. So Air saved me, because if I'd have just been sitting at home, music would have moved on and I would have stayed, the same.
It's the first time that you could make a record that was exactly as you were hearing it in your head.
I don't know if I've ever done that. But I actually do remember being at my therapist's, and I had a music magazine, and I said, look at this. It's this computer program called Pro Tools, and look, it looks like there's faders. And I was showing my therapist, this is crazy,
This is quite some to and froing that you've got going on with your therapist. Who could have guessed that the sort of...
She was hopeless with tech support, though. I mean, I would call her up saying, what do I do here? It's frozen. And she was no use whatsoever.
I love the idea that the sort of sounding board for the return of the Lilac Time was a 70-year-old Czechoslovakian woman.
No, she was Austrian.
Austrian, sorry.
She survived the war. She survived the Nazis, and then the communists arrived, and they just thought this is over. So she left Austria, made her way to England, and all she took with her were 2 books of poetry. So she arrived here, I don't know, the late 40s, early 50s.
Did you ever write a song about her?
Was that? I mean,
she's in them.
She's certainly in them, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a good device in a way, really, to have this person living your therapist living rent free in your head.
It wasn't free, baby. I paid. It was expensive.
Yeah, fair point. And so did the songs come fairly quickly?
The songs always, came fairly quickly. There was never a pause.
I like this idea of a song. It's quite a seductive idea for a music fan, that on any album that you love, that there might be a song on the previous album that pushes the door open into it. And so with Looking for a Day in the Night, would that be 23? There's a few, right?
Well, I suppose the making of yes, there are a few songs where I just thought, well, this is basically what I was doing. And the postcard on I Love My Friends, I was kind of embarrassed about that. The lyric, I was saying, is this too over the top? And I got my brother to listen to it on headphones. So, I mean, we were still together, but singing.
Why did you think it was? Why were you worried that it was over the top?
Because it was like, because it was about somebody accidentally. I was like, can I actually say that you accidentally overdosed? And is that sort of like a clunky thing in a song?
So that's what people love about that song.
Yeah. And he said, yeah, go for it, put it out.
Yeah.
But really, I suppose it was, I was my brother had the garage, and I'd met Claire, and we were singing together, and I was thinking, this is going to be something. So it was, I was on the way there. And then, of course, Claire joined the Robbie Williams band, and completely destroyed my plans for the band, my romantic plans, and my, well, they were all romantic plans. All of the plans have been romantic, like with the making records is kind of a great romance.
We can sing together down a